DisasterCast. Enjoy.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to DisasterCast, the weekly best podcast ever.
Truly.
New episodes every Tuesday.
Or so.
I'm here with... I actually forgot to say my name. It's been a while. I am iSaH, right? Go by iSaH and the Ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm here with King Exbee.
Hi, I'm fucking sick.
What?
What?
And I'm here with Parmesan.
Hi. I think. Sorry, I interrupted your introduction because there was a big pause. And I
Oh,
was like,
it's because my fucking Discord's laggy.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, I get you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the shit. Oh well. Let's move
Anyway.
past it. Topics. Go, Isaiah.
All right. So, since it's my episode, I guess I'm gonna get started off with my topic first.
Right.
And I've had this one saved on the document for
Yeah.
like a good 4 episodes now, but I just want to get it out of the way. So I've been playing a lot more video games lately, right?
Yeah.
A lot more older games, and a lot more emulation-based stuff. And so I've been realizing that just every year it gets increasingly harder to play old games, which is why I think piratation is the best, honestly. Because genuinely,
wait,
you
hang on.
can't
We have to
get...
preface this by saying to the government agent watching this, we're joking, of course.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
I love
100%.
piratation. I think it's really good, actually.
Yeah,
No, yeah. It's just it's like another tool. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, I rarely pirate new games. I usually only ever do it for PS3 ROMs, or PS2 games or something,
Yeah, no, I would agree with you. I never pirate new games. Well, actually, I tried pirating new games once, and I got my entire computer raided, so that was fun. Yeah, but old games, great way to fucking store them and preserve history and all that. Like, piratation is not a bad thing at all.
Yeah. It's just one of those things where, what do you call it? Companies just don't, like game companies, right? Especially Nintendo, right? They, just don't get that it's a cause on them.
Yeah, it's like the Smiling Friends bit in the fucking the Gwimbly episode where the CEO, he's like, it's my IP to sit on and do nothing with.
Yeah. That's really how it is, and it's one of those
Yeah.
things where, if I feel this way because I generally do believe this. If Nintendo were to come out today and be like, "Hey, we have our own freaking ROM store opened up," that shit would make bank. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's without a doubt. If they made their own emulators, if they made their own ROMs, it would be the best financial decision for them ever. But they don't, which is why people pirate.
Especially
On top of that,
GameCube
if they-
and shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
If they did, they would make it really expensive. But people still would buy it. It's just the only downside to that would be $60. I mean, they do that in the first place. The Legend of Zelda Wii game, the Skyward Sword, that shit is $60. It's like a decade-old
What's
game.
the difference?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no point. So piratation, best option. Do pirate stuff.
Yeah,
It's fun.
and it also doesn't
No,
help
yeah.
that most of those games don't get fucking brought over. Even if that hypothetical ROM store existed, they that there would just be some games that would be lost to time. Granted, most of those games would be probably wouldn't be that beloved, but still.
No, yeah, I wrote that down too in the document that what do you call it? With how they regulate piratation, it basically leads to physical media becoming the only way to play those games, right? And the physical console as well. And people won't have those,
Yeah.
People just don't have those, casually, you know what I mean? And it's one of those things where, certain games will just be forgotten, And it's all because, you need to have the physical media, you need to have the physical console. And it's just a bunch of BS, I feel with a bunch...
I will say this. Playing a game on physical console, playing a game on the console it was originally meant for, is pretty fucking fire sometimes. I will concede on that. Because I had an emulator for Conker's Bad Fur Day. And I was playing and I was like, this is cool, but it just doesn't... It feels wrong and then I played it on an N64, and it clicked. It clicked.
Yeah.
It was great. I love that
That's
game.
cool.
Yeah, and I don't think I would have loved it nearly as much if I didn't play it on original hardware. But the choice should still be there.
No, yeah, but then I want to give a counterpoint to that though. That one of my favorite games I played on the GameCube first was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3.
Yeah.
Right? It's like one of my favorite games of all time. It's just such a fun arcade skateboarding game, right? But what's it called? It's one of those things where since I played it first, I got this little brush of nostalgia, right? But you could feel the limitations of the GameCube,
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
And so because of that, I was like, I want to know how this feels emulating it, And so I started emulating it on Dolphin, rest in peace. And what do you call it?
It just felt better.
It was amazing. I played it like in 4K. You know what I mean? Like, and my PC couldn't even handle 4K. I just did it for the hell of it, and it was amazing. I played it at 60 FPS. It was smoothest quality ever. And I'm like,
Controls wise,
even-
how was the controls gameplay
like
gameplay-wise?
basically no input delay. Everything felt like a new game. You know what I mean?
That's cool. Yeah,
And,
that
like,
reminds me of that Donkey video where he talks about GoldenEye and how the switch from
Oh, yeah.
GameCube to PC is just insane.
Now
It's a
listen,
shooter.
don't tell anyone I told you this.
Yeah. There's a secret PC.
Yeah. Well, I love me some pyration. When
Yeah.
it's done well. Yeah, no. Speaking
Also,
of
Steel
doing
Co.
things
Corporations.
well,
I
video games. I don't know. Anthony, why you have a topic there just called video games?
Oh yeah, I just wanted to talk about two of my favorite video games of the modern day. Overwatch 2 and Dead by Daylight. Those are the ones I've been playing. Overwatch,
Isaiah?
ranked, competitive, little lame. Dead by Daylight's pretty fun.
What's
though.
up?
I've gotten word that Parmesan is an Overwatch enjoyer. We're gonna have to find a new third host.
No, Overwatch 2 enjoyer. There's a difference. There's another number this time. But it's worse somehow.
Kill him with hammers.
But I'm playing competitive.
True.
Guillotine.
Oh, but I play Overwatch Tracer.
Fine.
let's just hear video games.
I'm so
Yeah.
fucking sick.
What
I'm
about
sorry.
Overwatch?
Yeah.
This is the sick episode. Both of y'all are sick.
This
Yeah.
is a sick episode.
Isaiah, I'm gonna go over and get you infected.
Nope.
But if we do that, the synergy is gonna be insane for the DisasterCast. We gotta all be sick. Come on.
It'd be like 2 hours of just like,
Yeah. That's how I feel right now. My fucking sinuses, they're acting the fuck up. Help me.
Dude, my sinuses, I'm going to leave the video games topic for later. I'm going to talk about the stuck in a room topic. My sinuses,
talk
and
your
just
shit.
being sick in general. I have never been this not sick ever. I got sick maybe, 4 days ago. Let's just do a quick little thing right there. 4 days ago, estimate. My sinuses stopped getting plugged the first day. And now I'm not even coughing anymore. I'm not coughing as much as I did before. Usually, all my shit just gets stuck in my chest. It's disgusting. It's not fun. But
Yeah.
I mean, yesterday I went out for a walk, and being stuck in this room, it's just, I was just in love with everything. The sky was so pretty, dude. The plants were pretty. I saw a bunch of people. It was so cool. I probably got them infected, but it was really nice.
Bro started the coronavirus too.
COVID
20.
COVID 20, yeah.
Even though that's not how it works, but whatever.
That's not how it works, but... And it would be
24.
24. Yeah, yes. Sir.
God,
COVID
but yesterday
24.
sucked. I had to leave work early, which would be epic on most days, but I had to go back, and my mom was doing something with my room, so I couldn't sleep in my room, and instead I had to sleep in her room.
So you infected
and for some
everyone
reason,
else.
my parents are like spawned from another universe. I'm pretty sure because they sleep on the most fucking rugged and nasty feeling blankets of all time. So I was stuck in this bright white room.
Oh, no.
Where the sun was shining through, just trying to go to sleep. I was like Jake Weddle.
I was gonna say you got Mr.
Psychological
Beasted, dude. You got Mr. Beasted.
Solitary confinement.
Yeah, solitary confinement. That's what it felt like. I was hearing the
That
humming
house
of
breaks
the air.
Geneva conventions.
I was hearing the humming of
Yeah.
the AC, and I was like, I can't fucking take this anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. And on top of that, you're sick.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
bad making jokes about
It's a
Jake
lot.
Little, but
Yeah.
also, it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank fucking God we're not talking about Mr. Beast anymore.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I haven't gotten sick.
I know.
Like, what do you call it? I've only gotten the. Can we say the C word? COVID.
Go.
I mean, we already said it, but
You the
Well,
Fachi
that hasn't been a fucking rule for years.
Okay.
Also, we're not
I haven't-
monetized.
Yeah, true. Nah, dude, we got 7 cents. We split that.
Oh
7
yeah, we
cents.
split in 7 cents because the one that I uploaded on mine made like 20 cents.
Yeah.
Splitting it.
But I haven't gotten COVID like since 2022, which that got me pissed off because when I got that, it was like like a year too late, pretty much. All the variants had died away.
Yeah.
Like everything was already open. The mask mandates were over. That shit got me mad as hell because I was just like,
Like, bruh.
it's like such an ironic twist
fuck.
of fate.
I've only ever had COVID
And
once.
just like getting. And so, what do you call it? Yeah, that shit just.
Bless you.
That
Sorry.
shit sucked so much. I had to miss one of my aunt's weddings, which
Oh,
sucked.
damn.
Because I had like this
That's
dapper ass suit. I still have it in my closet to this day,
That's
just ready and waiting for whenever the next event that requires a suit.
job interview. You never know. What if
Sure, I guess.
what if Brian Wilson comes back and
Don't
he's like,
don't
"Isaiah,
cut any
I
of
need
the
you from a
sneezes.
secret producer team."
To make a freaking Frankenstein version of the Beach Boys.
Pet
Yeah.
Sounds Part 2.
But you
That
need,
sounds
but and
too.
then he's like, "But you need a really nice suit."
That'd be funny.
He's like, I've been waiting for this.
It's funny too, cause like
You know how long I've been waiting for this?
Yeah.
yeah, he's like, you better make a name for yourself. I was like, that shit's hilarious.
Yeah. Good movie.
Turns
All
into
right.
Gambit. Wow, that was
So
weird.
No, but I got that.
can we address what's it called?
The elephant in the room.
The FNAF free smoke.
Of course.
All right.
You wanna get
can
into it
can
right
get
now?
Wait. Can I start? Can I start?
Yes,
Yes,
you can start. Go
This is
for
the
it.
XP topic.
Wait. Wait. If you give me 1 minute, because I really have to go piss.
Oh my fucking god! All right, we gotta
Worst
stall.
time. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Don't say anything.
Okay, we gotta stall. Isaiah, what do you want to talk about?
Maybe we could just talk about when we saw the FNAF movie for the first time.
Well,
just initial impressions.
Okay, so, in the beginning there was nothing. Then around the time of 2000 and when did the first
14.
FNAF come out? 2000.
To the-
Around the time
A
of
couple days ago,
2014
actually, like
No, the-
10-year anniversary.
Oh yeah, really. It's interesting.
I think the 10th. I think like the 10th. It was the 10-year anniversary.
Well,
Sorry.
anyway,
off topic, but-
so in the beginning of time, there was nothing. Then in 2014, the universe popped into existence because that was the day the first FNAF game came out.
Yeah.
And it broke records. It was beautiful. People loved it. And then my guy Scott Quantavius Cawthon the second began to just pump these out all the time, building this incredible lore, this incredible story, and a ho-hum community. Because I won't say it's a bad community because I'm not trying to get shot, but
yeah.
ho-hum community, a very creative community. I'll say that.
Yeah. Very colorful.
And with that came the announcement of a Five Nights at Freddy's movie, which would be stuck in production hell for 8 billion years until finally, in the sacred year of our Lord, 2023, the Five Nights at Freddy's movie came out in October, which was very fitting.
Mm-hmm.
For Halloween.
27.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Now, Anthony is a big Five Nights at Freddy's guy. I wasn't really a big Five Nights guy up to that point, but as I get more and more into the community, I begin to realize that I fucking hate this movie, and I think it's dog shit. All right, so Anthony,
Let's get into it.
And I think
Let's get this.
Anthony, wait.
before we move on, I think I can also provide a good. I think this will be a good balanced talk in a way, because you're going from a guy, like I think I'm a good like part of the middle pact here because I'm very indifferent towards FNAF. Like you know what I mean?
Sir, yeah.
Like I know the bare minimum, and I thought it was a very serviceable movie, but that's going too far ahead. I'll let you continue. Sorry.
All right, so I hate this movie. Anthony, you want to explain what your feelings are?
I'm more on the positive side. I think this is a good movie. I'm gonna be opposing King Exbee's opinions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty much it. I just
All
let's get
right.
into this. Let's jump in.
So
And
Isaiah,
I'll sort of, I'll just kind of go in between, probably go with the flow, be bisexual with this one.
Hell
but
yeah.
first,
Well, wouldn't you be
okay.
asexual because you're indifferent?
Where the fuck is the coin?
I guess, yeah.
All right, I got a coin.
I'll
Heads or
be arrow
tails?
ace with this one.
Heads or tails?
Head-
I mean,
heads or
if you
tails?
want to start, I don't mind, but I'll do heads.
All right, we got Oh fuck, this coin is so faded. Oh, it's heads. All right, you go first.
Heads.
So start talking.
No. No, I thought it was I thought it was the whoever wins decides who goes first.
Oh, all right, sure, why not?
I do because I just want to hear you go first.
Okay, so I think this movie's fucking horse ass. So from the beginning, the movie very clearly establishes like two things to me, two very big flaws.
Mm-hmm.
It's not interesting, and it's not scary. The beginning scene of the night guard getting clapped by Foxy and then put into that little like thing where the with the saws is not very well shot. It's very boring. It's not very, you know, it's not scary, and it doesn't build tension. It barely even serves a purpose within the story, other than to like, oh, they need a night guard. And we saw what happened to this guy, so we know what's going to happen to our main character. Our main character is a fucking moron, but he's... The main character sucks, but he's not, like, the worst. I think he's a very boring lead. Because, like, he
before we move on to a different topic, I just want to address the opening scene really quick, if that's okay.
Alright.
I think it sets a really good... It sets the tone for the movie. It's pretty suspenseful at the beginning, you know, he's rushing to screw off the little screws, you know, this, that.
Yeah.
I think, you saying that it's boring, I think that's what probably got me the most with what you just said. I think it's far from boring. I think it's pretty quick. The part where the mask comes in on his face, that's, at the very least, pretty interesting. And also, yeah, it does, other than setting the tone, it serves the purpose of they need a new security guard. So I think it's a pretty good intro.
But the tone is just it's off. That's how I can describe most things in this movie. It's just it's off.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not very scary. Foxy running towards him is shot in a very vanilla and bland way. It's more comedic if anything because the guy's facial expression is so goofy. I think the mask coming down on him is whatever. It's like. I think the fact that we don't get to see it is incredibly detrimental. You know what? My opinion, and I know I'm not the first one to bring this up, they should have just started with the Bite of 87. That would have been so much fucking better. They should have just started with the Bite of 87. Or they could have shown...
The Bite of 87, the problem with that is that there's... We don't know... Are you talking about the Bite of 87 or the Bite of 85?
Or 83.
There is a difference because the Bite of
kid's head gets
87 was a security guard getting bitten by Mangle. That's the Bite of 83, not 85. Yeah, my bad.
Okay,
that one's my bad.
All right,
But the thing is, it doesn't relate to the original children getting murdered.
But it's an adaptation. You can change things. This movie changes things.
It does a little bit,
Yeah.
but I think
like-
changing that would be a little too much. It would definitely stray a lot from the original source material.
But this also strays from the source material. Like Mike Schmidt never had a brother. As a matter of fact, Michael Schmidt is not even isn't it like a cover name for William Afton's son? Like that's
Originally, yeah, but
yeah.
Mike Schmidt is a character in the original games.
No, but like the animatronics are like fucking. They're not scary. They stop halfway through to show us that they're not scary.
Mm-hmm.
Like they start playing with a little kid and then building forts and
Yeah,
shit.
building the forts, right?
Yeah, and here's another thing. Vanessa, her character is probably the worst part of this movie.
Interesting.
She doesn't like Okay, so what's her job? What job does Afton give her? Which, by the way, Afton's a whole other
job she
fucking
gives
problem. The job Afton gives her, he explicitly says, keep him in the dark, kill him if he got too close, and
Gotcha.
She quote she defies that, but
Yeah.
she defies it in like a really shitty and stupid way because she just kind of starts dropping random hints, and like Mike wouldn't have given a fuck if Vanessa was never there. Like, if Mike didn't have Vanessa, he wouldn't have bothered. He would have just done his job, probably gotten killed by the animatronics, and then that would have been it. Why did William send his fucking cop daughter to go save fucking Josh, what is his name?
Hutcherson.
Josh Hutcherson.
I think that what he sent her is because he knows who he is. He saw his name. He saw his name at the beginning, right?
But the movie doesn't tell us that. Why would the movie doesn't tell us anything about what Afton's plan is, what his goal is, what does he expect Vanessa to do, if not just make things so much harder? Because realistically, it's easy to just keep Mike in the dark, just fucking send him there and make him do his job, and eventually one of those robots will kill him.
Right. Now here's how I'm gonna counterpoint that. Throughout the story, we clearly, especially at the end, we clearly see Vanessa has sort of like an awakening. She's like, this is not right.
Yeah.
She disagrees with her father and she outright defies him at the very end. She shoots him because she knows he's a bad person.
Okay.
So what I'm guessing is that just maybe she doesn't want Mike to die. She gets to know him throughout the story. He's got a sister. He's got a reason for being there. And then she says later that she starts to know and piece together that her brother was kidnapped by her father. So she gets a little more personal and close to Mike. So she probably doesn't want him dying.
But here's the thing, okay? So Vanessa says that she didn't see anything wrong with it because the people that they were killing were, quote, bad. Which means that security guard, for some fucking reason, I guess he was just a bad guy. I guess all those children that Afton murdered were bad people.
When did she say that?
Huh? She says it in the school when he's at the police station, and they're patching him up, and then he's like, you helped your father kill all those innocent people, and then she goes that they weren't innocent, but it's like, what did they do? Like, what are you talking about? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I see.
I think what do you call it? Overall, I think definitely I agree with XB's opinion of the what's the word, I guess call it, the plot, just the overall story. It definitely is very scattered, I will say that. It has it feels like it's a lot of movies in one movie. You know, like it's trying to be a lot of movies at once, so it's really struggling to find a certain like identity and overall sort of theme and motif for sure. And so that is definitely like something I have a big gripe about, because honestly, when I came in, my first impression was, honestly, I thought it was going to be a solo movie, like something very similar to the games, which I know wouldn't be a very fun watch probably, you know? But I thought it was going to be something very similar, like, you know, you go, like the original OG, like, 2014 game, you know? Like, you come in, 5 nights, I'm quitting this bitch, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
The
But
only problem with that is it wouldn't have been a fun movie. It also, the whole thing being there with, like...
See, I disagree.
There's a different thing with his aunt, because if his aunt's not there, he doesn't really have a motive to go to the pizzeria. There's a lot of things that are added to the movie to make him
Here's
go
another
to
thing, because you mentioned the aunt. Here's another thing, because you mentioned the aunt.
Uh-huh.
The aunt is cartoonishly evil. Like, she's a very unrealistic person. Same thing with Afton. She's a very unrealistic person, because they don't want to kill people that are not bad. Because, like, did you notice that? Like, all the people who die in the movie die in a very unceremonious way, one, and two, they're cartoonishly evil. Aside from the security guard, which we've already discussed. But because they don't want to kill people who are more realistic. Like, what if... Like, I don't know. Like, I think that's just very stupid. Like, I think the aunt character is very very stupid. I don't like the aunt character at all. I feel nothing, and I
So you don't like her?
I genuinely laughed when she died. Yeah. Yes.
Or. So just how she acts, not how she like impacts the movie, or anything
way
like that.
Well, it does impact the movie because
Because I mean, she's the antagonist. She's kind of supposed to be disliked. I mean, she's the whole motive behind Mike.
But
Mike fighting for Abby, getting a job.
You can make an audience dislike a character while still making them feel real. She doesn't feel real. She feels like a cartoon. She's like, I'm gonna kill Mike. Like,
she doesn't feel so much as a cartoon, but more like just very like self-consumed. Like, she wants Abby just like Mike says, just for the social check.
well, yeah,
When she tries to talk to Abby, she doesn't really try. I don't know if you remember that scene at the end. She knocks on the door. She
No, I
tries,
do, but, like-
quote unquote, tries. She walks back to watch TV and like she doesn't even care. She just wants the benefits for herself, and I think that's a very realistic person. There are people out there that are like that.
I don't think that it's realistic because again, she talks to her fucking like colleagues to like, and like suggest like, oh, yeah, that would be a good idea to kill Mike. Like come on, like that's not real. Like I think if she was more,
she doesn't say it's a good idea to kill Mike. I think she just says it's not a good idea.
she says it's tempting.
Can we agree the lawyer's the best though?
She specifically says it's tempting. I do like Doug.
Yeah.
I
supposed
fucking
to
love
be
Doug.
here.
He's my favorite character.
Yeah. No, but like she's a very unrealistic character. I think if she was apathetic, that's something different. Like if you make her more apathetic, like she doesn't like if you make an effort to show like, oh, she doesn't really care, but she is pretending to in some way, but then kind of cut around all of the parts where she's like plotting and scheming to fucking get Mike fired and all this other shit.
I mean,
like,
I think
if
they did try though, right? Because there's a scene where she's with what's her name, Abby, and she's clearly just trying to be like
that scene,
that kind of parental figure, to kind of get at Mike,
If she was more apathetic, really quick, just going to
Like,
that,
I'm not saying
it
it's a
would make
good
more
scene, but it's
boring
an
movie.
attempt. Sorry.
It is an attempt, but it's a very shitty attempt. Like, they don't try hard. If that was one scene in many of her being apathetic, then maybe, then that would work. But it doesn't, because that's one scene out of, like, the 3 she has where she's not being, like, devilishly evil, and then she just dies. And it's really funny.
Maybe
Yeah.
she doesn't die. I think they leave it very vague what happens.
No, she definitely died.
No, I think they leave it vague how.
Either way, though, my gripe with that is that they kind of just forget about it.
On top of
exactly.
that,
By the end of the
if
movie,
she
they
is
just
dead-
completely fucking drop it.
If she is dead in Mike's home, don't you think that's maybe a problem, police-wise?
Yeah,
If
exactly.
they find a dead body in her house, in his
so
house,
why didn't the movie address that?
maybe because she's just alive and that
What?
didn't cause a
That
problem.
doesn't. What do you mean? Golden Freddy is like, oh no, don't worry, she's just sleeping. Like that implies that he fucking killed her.
No, it really doesn't.
Yeah, no, I guarantee you, if she's alive next movie, I will. Give me a fucking ultimatum. If she's alive next movie, what do you want me to do?
I don't care.
Face reveal.
Face
Oh my
reveal,
God.
that'd be funny.
Okay, no,
Listen.
not that. That's awfully.
If
you
she
said
was
anything.
dead, that would cause problems for Mike and Abby. We don't see any of those fucking problems at all. She is likely not dead.
and that's the problem. And that's the
I think
problem.
I think them
okay,
not
why don't-
facing any problems at all, like, oh, why was your aunt found dead in your house? That's never brought up. And I think
Okay, well,
the
hang
lack
on.
of that
Another-
existing
Since
is just
we're
proof that
already
she's
on this,
probably not
since we're already
dead.
on things not being brought up, at the end of the movie, why does he
Uh-huh.
make no such attempt to explain or tell the cops about the dead kids inside the fucking the suits, or the fact that Afton is somewhere in the ruins of Freddy Fab Bears, just fucking rotting. like he don't you think that that's an important thing to say? Like yo, these 5 dead kids that this guy killed, they're all in this one area right now because he tried to fucking kill me. Like that is an incredibly important thing that the movie just refuses to even acknowledge.
Gotcha.
And
Yeah.
I think it's mostly like a time constraint thing because they wanted to finish up the movie.
yeah,
As
but
well.
like
Definitely.
that's still a flaw. Like you gotta make things work. and they didn't make it work.
I
that
will
would
say
serve
though, on a
that
more,
would serve
okay.
to more like just patching everything up. Sorry, Isaiah, I'm just gonna add this really quick. That would serve just to like to patch every hole, you know, in the ship. But does it really serve the movie any favors other than patching up some holes? Not
I think
really.
I think it serves
Not
the
really.
movie the favor of having a pretty like good scene. Like I think that would be that would be
good scene of
heartbreaking.
him talking to
Imagine
the
if we
cops.
talking to the cops or even maybe like the families. Like would that not be like a really somber and like emotionally
Like some closure
impactful
type of
scene?
thing?
Yeah.
It would be, but the focus is never on the families or the kids. It's on Mike and Abby, really.
I don't know. I think
Like,
I
it
think
wouldn't
that
serve Mike's
the movie.
character,
The
like-
movie would be greatly improved if they focused on more sad type of things. You know what? I'm really sorry, Isaiah. I know you have something to say, but while we're on the topic, can we talk about the shitty the twist where the dead kids are on the bodies? That is a terrible twist. I think that's an awfully done twist.
Yeah,
Elaborate?
I mean,
I just want to
Okay.
hear an elaboration.
So-
really quick.
In the movie, Mike is told that there are ghosts inside of the fucking animatronics.
Yeah.
But then randomly, Vanessa tells him,
It's not random.
when it's pretty random. She tells him that the it's not just the ghosts, it's their bodies, and it's treated as this big like shocking reveal of some sorts. But it doesn't make any sense because they didn't build up to it in any way. They didn't make any attempt to be like oh that's kind of suspicious. Do you know how in the first game there were like you could find like newspaper clippings and whatnot about how like the
How the
animatronics
bodies were- yeah.
smelled bad? Like why don't you incorporate something like that to show like ooh like
My answer is that
Like
the purpose
foreshadowing?
of the scene
Yeah.
isn't really about specifically the kids' bodies being in the
But
suits. It's
but it is,
Vanessa's
though.
connection to Afton. It's really not. Because
But-
you're saying this like they put like all the focus onto the fact
but
that
they
the
put
kid,
they put a decent amount
They
of
do
focus.
put a
It's
decent-
very clearly
but
meant to
they
be
move
a
very
reveal.
quickly onto the fact that Vanessa has ties with Afton, who killed Mike's brother. That's the more important focus. I got fucking British.
That is important, but it doesn't mean that you just throw out this like grand reveal twist because there's a pretty big pocket of like not silence, but there's a big pocket where you're supposed to just take that in, and it's like
Gotcha.
why should I take this in because it hasn't been built up to at all yet. That would be such an effective reveal if they teased it like beforehand. Like if they did the smell thing, like would that not be effective? I don't know. Just like they don't focus on the element of dead kids inside robot bodies. Like that's weird. Like I feel like that's a very easy place for this movie to go for some like for some tension, for something.
Maybe for some tension, and maybe how like back to that original idea and how if the movie was supposed to be like the game like itself, but I mean the movie adds elements like a character and his background story. Mike and I'm gonna say this again. Mike and Abby are the focal point of the story. The 5 kids, they're just a way for Mike to get closure in a way with Afton and the whole fucking dead kids thing. It's a way for him to get closure, for him to appreciate that he has Abby. As much as you may hate it, the 5 kids are pushed aside for Mike and Abby.
Yeah, but like that's a big problem to me because it's not very well focused on. Even if it is like obviously, I will concede on the fact that this is supposed to be a story about Mike and Abby, but I don't really feel the lengths that Mike goes to for her. I don't really feel for them as like a brother sister parental like role type thing. Like it's not very well done. It isn't. Like
I think.
sorry, go ahead.
Let's let Isaiah talk.
Finally, fuck. I think overall, there's definitely is like the focal point being Mike and Abby, right? But I think that with it comes like there obviously it does have its problems, right? I don't think it's a perfect movie, even if like what's it called? Even people who love it, there's definitely room for improvement. And so I guess they're trying to go for it by sort of like summarizing the first couple FNAF games into one, and all the lore, not all the lore, but up until like the lore of like William Afton and stuff, right? All of that, they're trying to summarize all that lore into this like less than 2 hour long movie. Yeah. And so it's a challenge in and of itself to summarize, years of, plot from this game, right? Story. And so I get that, right? But it's one of those things where I feel like, I guess my biggest gripe with this all, right? And that's sort of like the weight it holds. I feel like it holds the weight in some of the wrong places,
Yeah.
Like, I think there's a world where this is a good movie.
Yeah.
But I think honestly, one of the biggest flaws, in my opinion, I know people wanted it, right? But I think if they didn't include William Afton and like the Spring Bonnie stuff, right? I think they could have had a good movie.
All right.
Like I think if it ended, what do you call it? At the reveal and some sort of closure, I think that could have been a way more interesting film, to sort of maybe set up something, next. Because obviously they're gonna make more films out of this franchise,
Obviously they are gonna make more. Okay, but you brought up Afton, so it's time to talk about Afton because Afton,
Willie Afton
movie,
section.
After I went on a binge of Five Nights at Freddy's. That's another. Okay, just real quick. This movie is stuck in like nerd purgatory for me, and so basically, this movie is stuck in nerd purgatory for me, where you have to understand at least a decent chunk. I would say 1 through 4 of the game thing.
Yeah.
The game topic, and to even understand where this movie is going or what this movie is trying to accomplish. But if you know the game knowledge, this movie fucking sucks. Because I know what Afton's like, what his goal is, and why he's doing all this for the games, which is why I fucking hate this Afton.
Yeah.
No, so Afton, he has the same problem as the aunt, where they treat him like a fucking supervillain. Like he says like generic bad guy line __. Like,
for example,
like his little spiel at the end, he's like, "Look at you! Look at the monsters you've become!" Like, that shit is stupid and dumb. It's not who William Afton is to me. And I think they really fumbled the bag, because Matthew Lillard, obviously has some sort of love for this character. He's obviously a very fucking great actor, and he's trying his hardest with this fucking corny ass superhero squad ass dialogue.
Mm-hmm. No, okay, you're kind of going really hard with this, but I think, which is interesting, I think it perfectly fits Afton's character. And I'm a little confused because you said you went on a sort of a binge and you understand the games and whatnot. Afton is he's a very egotistical person. And I think Lillard captures that amazingly. That part at the end where he's calling them little beasts, that's him knowing he's losing. He's losing that superiority that he has for himself. And he's lashing out on other people. It's literally like a chihuahua barking at you to make itself look bigger.
I think it could.
They really capture Springtrap's ego just really good in this movie.
But then he dies. He doesn't die, but he turns into Springtrap at the end. It takes all of 10 minutes. It's not well done or paced at all. How is he controlling them? Through a drawing on the wall? That's stupid. They also don't.
Okay, this is a different topic. We're on Afton as a character.
Yeah. Okay. I think him saying I always come back is really. It was definitely a fan service thing, right? Is really contrived and really forced, and honestly, I think it's really lame. I think having him say it now is...
It was a waste. She should have saved it for when he actually does come back. But they did mean to use it for his ego again. They really highlighted and went down on like the fact that this dude he's really stubborn. He really thinks himself so superior that he thinks he's gonna live back and come. He does, but even before he knows he's gonna be immortal and live, he fucking thinks that. Almost to the point where it's not even a thinking thing; it's a knowing thing. That's how self-absorbed he is. That's how confident he is in himself.
But like, it's like first I kill your brother, then I kill you. Poetry, my friend. Like, come on. Like, is that not corny? That is super corny. To me,
it's corny, but it fits his character. He's a psychopath. He has no regret in what he's doing. And look at him. He's joking, right? He's acting all giggly and shit. That's the sign of someone who thinks they're gonna win. That's someone who's very extremely self-confident. That nothing will go wrong.
Okay, so Afton's ego, to me, in the games is a more... It is adjacent to that, but it's not more contrived. It's more, maybe not subtle. He's the type of guy to like go on and on about like all this other like shit. He's like I knew it was a deception, obviously, but like he's more subtle in his approach to that, I think. Especially like in the books and stuff too. Like he's not as showy. I don't know, and I would appreciate if this movie was a little less showy, like held
the
back.
The lack of pace that they have in the movie is probably why they made him more showy with it. They didn't have the time to add subtlety, which is why they took about this from a slightly different approach, like you said, a little bit more showy, and I think it serves the character very well. It's in the moment, you know what I mean? With him, that deception thing. That's a slowly thing because they call out to him to Springtrap and he's like, oh, I knew this all along. Haha. But it's not really an in-the-moment thing. We don't really see Afton in the moment as he acts like, oh, I'm killing kids. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's in that moment right there and then is actually the time to shine. It's not the time to be subtle. So I think that works very well. But, again, the pacing, quick, definitely. If they had more time to flesh out this character, I think he could have been a lot better. But they do well with him.
I honestly cut out Vanessa and just replace him with Afton, or like I we'll get into that later actually. So there are a couple of other problems I have with Afton, like just in general, and I guess these are a little bit smaller. I hate that the cupcake is the one to kill him, and I hate that when he's dying.
This cupcake one, I want to put some emphasis on this one actually. Go for it.
I actually think that the cupcake in general just is a massive tone killer.
Interesting.
It's too goofy. It's just too goofy.
Goofy. I think the cupcake is responsible for one of the better deaths in the movie. You know, like in the freezer, when the dude opens in the kitchen when he opens the pantry, it jumps out, right?
Yeah.
You don't see it. Oh, it's off screen. Goes to Chica. There's a launching mechanism, and as that sound, that tick 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 builds up, you don't expect that. I certainly didn't expect that. I didn't think it would launch. And then better yet, combine that with the end where you see the damage the cupcake did. I think it did a great job. And honestly, I liked that it killed Springtrap last. Sorry, go ahead. I'll say that right now.
I think personally, I feel like it kind of, what do you call it? I feel like it definitely did take away from, like, Chica, right? From the animatronic itself.
Yeah.
In my opinion, and I feel like that was kind of like my gripe with it. I think it was cool in the sense, like when it killed, right? But I can see it being a tone killer, but I also just see it personally as being like it gave less screen time to one animatronic, you know? And I feel like at the core emphasis of this all, like even like despite all this, you know, despite all who like, you know, like Mike and Abby being these and all these other characters being added, right?
Yeah.
The core emphasis should be the animatronics, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that is definitely my big thing with the movie too, is just that like there's not enough animatronics doing like, you know, crazy shit, you know?
True.
I do kind of want to go somewhere with that. This is more of like a one of those lore things where I really don't like how little emphasis the movie puts on Golden Freddy.
Mm-hmm.
I think the fact that Golden Freddy, like Golden Freddy is supposed to be very, very important and very, very special. And I think that the movie does a really bad job at showing us why the blonde-haired kid is the important one.
Uh-huh.
If I didn't know anything about this movie, I would be very confused as to why it was this guy. Like, who?
Gotcha.
What is this
See,
kid?
the problem
Like, what
with
makes
Golden
this
Freddy
kid
is that
special?
he's extremely important, especially later on when Springtrap actually dies. The Golden Freddy
Yeah.
is the vengeful spirit. He's the one who keeps Springtrap alive in a mental
Yeah.
hell. But
And I
you see,
think-
you can't really do that early on in the story, especially with
feel like
Springtrap
you could
just barely his first death. You know what I mean?
If you shake up the lore a little bit, wouldn't that last scene where he's fucking struggling and reaching out towards the kid, that scene would hit so much harder if they put more emphasis. Make him the first one killed. Like fuck all the rest of the lore. Like make him the first one killed. Wouldn't that be so much better?
That's a funny topic, which actually I think saved the cupcake scene for me, which I didn't like initially, I will admit, but after some thinking, five kids were killed, 5 spirits. The cupcake is just an extension of Chica. So, if just logically, the cupcake is Chica. Chica killed Springtrap. That makes sense. It's actually very satisfying because Chica was the first to be killed canonically by anything. Springtrap
the
killed her
movie-
first.
The movie doesn't tell us that. The movie doesn't make any attempt to specify these. They're all just random little kids. They could be shuffled around as to which one was killed
Which
first
one
or which
died
one
first.
possesses which robot, and nothing would change. And also, here's another thing about Afton dying.
Mm-hmm.
When the Springlocks start clamping in, he lets out this really great scream, and I got excited. And then he just holds in his shit for the rest of it. Like, he just makes shitting noises for the rest of it. Like, the scene is so much less effective because he's not bellowing in pain. Like, he's just sitting there, like, taking a shit.
I think
That's
it
what
definitely
sounds
could have
like.
been more gruesome
Yeah.
in general as a whole, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I think a
for
lot of the
sure.
movie could have been more gruesome,
Yeah.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there is definitely a lack of...
The best
Well, a lot of the
kill-
deaths are on screen.
Yeah, the best kill in the movie is the one where Freddy cuts that girl in half, and then you don't see anything that cool again.
Yeah, decapitates her.
Yeah.
No, like, he chomps her in half.
No, he just decapitates her with his mouth.
Oh.
Yeah, that is one of the best. That's the best death in the movie. Very cool. I like how they lured her. Getting off topic. Oopsies. Sorry. But yeah, a lot of the. My favorite part about Springtrap, originally in the games, was that you could see his face sometimes. You know, the secret screens that pop up when you open the game.
Yeah.
And they really couldn't do that with the mask because they wanted to show you that it was the guy at the beginning, right? That's
Yeah.
probably the only reason they didn't have anything with his face. Would have been so cool. Would have been really cool to see because I love the Springtrap model originally with its fucked up face.
Also, this is another one. This is also a little bit nitpicky, but like, why did he just kidnap his brother randomly in the woods? Like, why isn't Afton's domain Freddy's?
You
Why
want
did he
to
just
talk about
randomly
Wise?
Why?
You want to talk about Wise?
Why?
You know what I think?
All right.
And this is a pretty good explanation, I think, lore-wise. Like, just for now, with the movies, with how basic. Because I don't want to go into Remnant and all that bullshit about how, oh, he wants to bring back his kid. No. I think just here, he's just insane. He's just a serial killer. He just kidnaps people. He just kills people. Because it's fun. Because he enjoys it. Because he doesn't have any remorse for his actions.
But
He's a psychopath.
But there's a clear distinction. So, 5 kids go missing at Freddy's.
Uh-huh.
But then there's just this random other kid that Afton killed in the woods for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's stupid. Like, that's dumb.
They
Why?
leave a lot of things vague. I know a lot of people like theorize that his dad was that Mike's dad was one of the engineers. He might have actually even engineered the original animatronic himself.
Why not just make
they leave a lot of things
Just
vague,
make his brother die at
ambiguous.
Freddy's. That would be
A
so
lot
much
to the-
better.
A lot to the mind.
Yeah. You know, God, I don't like it. I think it's overall it's just a very messy movie. Kind of like this topic. We bounced all over the place from one to one.
I
because we
tried to
can't
stay
go over it,
linear.
like-
You did. You
Yeah.
kind of went everywhere.
I think in general, what this is
Fair
that,
enough.
like, what do you call it? So Anthony, you clearly, like, you're the FNAF guy. Like, when I think of FNAF, I think of you.
Yeah.
You know?
Uh-huh.
And so, because of that, it's one of those things where you could justify a lot of it in your head from the years of, like, freaking game theory, whatever the hell, right, that you've been watching, right? To get these chunks of lore, right?
Mhm.
And the games you played as well,
Yeah.
Like, it all clicks in your head. And so you can kind of put two and two together and sort of, you could fabricate things of the in-between when...
You're talking about a pre-existing, like, oh, I'm a fan, so I know this shit. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, like, when things don't make sense to Exbee, you're like, oh, it kind of makes sense to me because I know when this happened with this,
Mm-hmm.
But then with Exbee, it's one of those things where he's very much like, I think Exbee is very much coming from the perspective of like an outsider,
Uh-huh.
I'm a bit of a critic.
And so it's one of those things where like,
That was terrible. Sorry.
and so it's one of those things where, he's coming from it from this perspective of like, it shows a lot of things that, like, people who know a little bit about FNAF could probably get, right? But even then, even somebody who's just like, who's like a nobody, like not nobody, but like never like been interested in FNAF, like someone like yours truly, right?
Yeah.
It's one of those things where I came out definitely very like I knew like a little bit about FNAF for sure,
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
So
it's
like
interesting
I
that you
definitely
bring
did come
that up.
in.
Because when rewatching this movie, I took it as from like, I don't know anything about FNAF. The only time I think where I maybe would have done that is when I mentioned the cupcake and Chica being first. But I took this as a very like, I'm gonna go blank. I don't know shit about FNAF. And honestly, I came out the other end kind of like, things made sense. He's a killer.
Yeah.
He kills kids. Random guy. He got his brother kidnapped by some serial killer dude. He works in a pizzeria. That happens to be where the same serial killer conducted his own other killings. What a coincidence! It serves the plot. Blah blah blah. Killer dies. Happy ending.
Yeah. I just think that, what do you call it? There definitely is, like, what's the word? I think when you have to say, though, that certain things, like, oh, when I think about it more, it makes sense,
Mm-hmm.
I think definitely, though, there is something to be said that it's not an instant thought, Like, a lot of these things you said, oh, when I rewatched it or looking back,
Mm-hmm.
or just
Yeah.
when I put my mind to it more, it's like,
Yeah.
I think, in my opinion, those are things that the movie should have done for you,
Yeah.
Like, they should have pointed, or at least pointed you in that direction, Like, I'm not saying that they should just make you, like, give you that,
I mean,
but they should,
everything
like,
I
point
just
you in
said
that
was very
direction.
surface level, though.
Yeah, and
It doesn't
I do-
really take another second thought.
Sorry, I just.
Like,
really
I was just
quickly
saying,
wanna
like-
chime in. Yeah, and that is
I was
kind
just
of
saying
my
that for the
problem.
purpose of.
All right. Yeah, I do want to just chime in real quick and say that, like, I do think that is kind of like my overall problem with the movie is that it doesn't really pace itself very well. It's not very attentive. A lot of the things that are wrong with this movie are movie things, like technical shit. Like I didn't really go into it because it's not really what this is about. But like I think the editing is very mid. I think the editing is very it can create a very awkward scenario. I think the acting could definitely be better, but like that's more excusable because it's a lot of it is kids.
I like the acting.
But
Yeah.
to be honest, everybody except for Matthew Lillard, I kind of think is doing a bad job. Like I'm on the verge of saying that Matt Pat did a better job than Josh Hutcherson.
I think Josh did a pretty good job. I like
no,
what he did with
yeah,
the
that's not
character.
fair. Josh worked pretty well. Josh worked pretty well.
You know
And
what's
then
funny? At the
I-
beginning, you mentioned him, and I was like, wait, let me just get to this topic. Let me just finish the initial opening scene, and then we like bounced all the way over
Oh,
to like
yeah,
the fucking
yeah.
end, and I'm like, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ!
No, dude,
Sorry.
I lost consciousness, man, because like I just have so much like I have like so little
The ADHD, the movie review.
knowledge. I have like so little knowledge
Yeah.
of the FNAF stuff that it's like I was
No,
supposed to be the mediator, but I'm just kind of like I don't even know, man. I
I
can't.
wanted
I can't
to-
chime
sorry,
in.
I wanted to talk about him.
I'm very passionate about. Fuck me. I'm very
Yeah,
passionate
no.
about this movie now, because I've grown more passionate about Five Nights. Yeah. Also, this is one more loser complaint. The cinematography is pretty mid. There's like 2 or 3 good shots.
Oh, it's nothing special, but I wouldn't say. Oh,
I
actually,
think
no,
the-
you're right.
I
it
think
is
the
mid.
art-
It
the
ser-
art
it
direction
serves-
carries.
It's literally just a movie.
The
Like
art
it's just
direction
movie
carries. Yeah.
Art direction.
Yeah, set design and all that was like on point.
Yeah. So overall, movie fucking sucks. 2 out of 10. Can't wait for the sequel.
Is it actually a 2 out of 10 in your mind?
It's probably closer to a 3.
I think
I'm still giving it a solid 6.
6 if we're talking movie, just purely movie. But I don't like taking that because it's not really representative of the whole movie. I'm taking this with everything. It's like an 8. Pretty
All
good.
right.
Pretty good. Pretty good fun. Pretty good fun.
All right.
Varied opinions.
That was. I think that was our best topic.
Ever?
I know it was kind of scattered.
I wish it
and,
could have
like,
been
all
more
over the place,
linear,
but I had
which
a
is why I
fucking-
kind
a
of
fuck
didn't
ton
like
of
the
fun.
idea of it being on the
Okay.
podcast. But yeah,
Maybe
We
that
need,
next time
okay,
we do
need
this,
we
we
need
need-
to
I think-
find we need to find another free smoke topic.
We
Sorry
need
NFR
bullet
for
points
stealing
and
this.
stuff.
not
but-
sorry. This is ours now, NFR.
But
What
we
is
need
the
to
fat
find
one doing?
another thing that we disagree heavily on, and then we need to write like specific things that we want to talk about.
Ooh, Eminem
but that's
is not
we
the
should probably
best
make
rapper.
we should probably make an outline. Yeah.
yeah,
Next time.
outline next time. Speaking of outlines, I love Dave
So-
Blunts.
Okay.
Is
I kind of didn't want to talk about this.
oh
I want to just save it for later. But honestly, nah, this is better. He's not losing relevance, but I just don't. I really like it. So it's like I was really bored yesterday, and so I watched the No Jumper podcast, and yeah.
okay. If I wasn't sick
But
before, I'm sick now.
I was watching the Dave Blunt's interview, and it was just crazy because honestly, like, dude's just a nice guy, and like obviously his big thing is he's very a very overweight man, but he's pretty cool though. It was just hilarious though because he was just talking about a lot of stuff.
Okay,
Like,
wait,
I watched
hang
like,
on. I'm really
You
sorry.
said
we
that
need
like
to
he's a
rewind.
bad
Who is
person.
Dave Blunts?
Hit rapper.
He is a rapper from Iowa of all places, and
Is
he's
he
just
the
been like.
guy that said that thing about Kunta
Kunta Kinte, yeah.
Oh,
Working the
God.
field
Kunta
like a
Kinte.
person, Kunta Kinte.
I don't fuck with people because I'm
not
not
gay.
queer. I don't fuck with people because I'm not gay.
Alright then.
And so he just said a bunch of crazy stuff. That's like his thing. He'll have like crazy bars.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's been blowing up like on like SoundCloud. He's kind of in that camp of like, I wouldn't say he's definitely not in that underground wave of like Netspend or Xavier So Based and all those
Yeah,
guys.
thank God.
He's more like in line with like Joey. That kind of
yeah,
side, like
yeah,
Joey,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
like
Joey. Shadow Wizard
like
Money
Joe,
Gang.
like like Joey, Ian, like those guys,
Ian Ill.
And so, what do you call it? He's in line with that kind of crowd of like rap, you know.
Yeah.
And so, what do you call it? Yeah, like, he's been blown up from that kind of style. And I just watched his stuff on the No Jumper podcast because I just don't know. Like I don't like No Jumper, right? But like I just watched that one because it's Dave Blunt's, and he was
Yeah.
actually pretty interesting. Like he talks about how what do you call it? Randomly, he used to upload his. This is just kind of funny as hell. He used to upload his music on Facebook, right? And he used to use a really like shitty Android app, but he didn't know how to export the files. So what he would do is he would screen record the music and then upload the screen recording on Facebook. So there's like 3 layers of compression already. Like like
Oh, that's funny.
and then since he uploaded on Facebook, right?
Damn, he was doing it before
He,
Kanye.
He started getting a large uploading. What do you call it? Sorry, not upload, a large following from Mexico, of all places, because a lot
Oh
of
yeah,
Mexicans are on
dedicated
Facebook.
Mexican audience.
Yeah,
And so yeah, he said like before he
I
blew
mean,
up in America, he had like hundreds of thousands of Mexican fans just being like yo, you're the shit,
That's
Yeah.
fire.
And to this day, he'll like have like hella fans on like Mexican Facebook and stuff.
he's the
And
anti-Lucky.
it's just kind of cool.
Anti-like.
Yeah.
In
And so
that
what do
way.
you call it?
In that way. In the hating Mexicans.
Yeah. And so yeah, he has like just this big following in Mexico, but he was also just talking about his life story, and it was kind of interesting as hell, surprisingly, because he has a kind of like not like a sad backstory, but just like it's insane, like what he went through. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like he was in like homeless shelters and stuff, like pretty much his entire life.
Yeah.
Because his mom was poor and his dad had passed away when he was like super young. You know. And so he was just like struggling, and he just talks about shit like that. He talks about how he used to be what's it called, like rob people, and he used to be a weed dealer, right? And he said that he stopped dealing weed because people were just so stingy with their money that, like, what do you call it? He said like the moment he stopped selling weed was because when he was at school, there was a guy who's all like yo, how much you charging? Like, could I get 15 for an eighth? And the guy's and he's all like, yeah, that's a standard price, you know. He's like, can you do 10? And I'm like, nah, I can't do 10. 10's only for like homies and stuff, you know. And he's like, all right. So he comes up to him like in this is funny. He said that he used to go to what was called it because he went to like a reform school, right?
Yeah.
Because he was so bad at like school that he had to go to like one of those like alternative high schools. And so at the alternative high school, they named this bathroom the special bathroom because it was right next to the special needs like area.
Oh God.
And so that's where he would set up shop.
Damn.
Like selling weed in the special needs bathroom.
Would he sell them to special needs kids?
I don't think he ever said he did.
Oh.
But what do you call it? He said at that time the guy came up to him and was like, "Oh yeah, you're the guy I've been like DMing on Insta." And he's like, "Okay." And he's all like, he said like, this shit's hilarious. He said like, "All right, can you show me the cash before I give you the the eighth?" And he's like, "All right." And he gives him like $5 and a penny.
Bro.
And he's like, "Man, this isn't even like this is not even like a half, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Standard price." And he's like, "But how much can you give me for that?" And he's like,
It's a
"Man."
third.
Yeah, and like he said, like that day after he just stopped selling weed because it just wasn't like worth it, the amount of like
No,
people who
the
are trying to like
reward
run up
wasn't
on him and
worth
rob
the
him.
risk.
Yeah,
Most intelligent marijuana user.
and so it was
Because
just
we
like,
would never do
hilarious.
that, right?
Deal marijuana?
Yeah.
No. That's too hard. I'm tired.
It was just hilarious though, him talking about. And he had this crazy ass what is it, freestyle? We watched him, me and Parmesan.
Yeah, very fun.
The on the radar freestyle. Like in the beginning, it was just like crazy lines. That's where the Kunta Kinte one. But then he started flowing with the auto tune, the beat switch.
Yeah. He's got a lot of personality to his stuff. He's a really
Yeah, does
very,
have a lot.
very interesting character. I love him.
Full of personality. No.
Like that person,
And
Kunta
so-
Kinte.
I don't know, I just kind of like him and like his vibe. I don't think I'm a big fan of the music personally. I think some of the songs are okay, but I mean he's got the personality on deck. And like
For
honestly,
sure.
in an age like today, with how musicians blow up for their personality more so than their music, he's definitely gonna ride the wave for sure.
Yeah.
Just a quick little one.
That is kind of funny. He does seem like a very funny person.
He is. You gotta watch that on the radar freestyle. It is very fun.
I will definitely
You think
watch
we could
it.
you think we can go back to the topic of video games
Yeah,
Video
yeah,
games?
yeah.
on Anthony's side?
Yeah, you can go really quick.
So video games.
Video games.
Video game lover.
I used to
I
listen to
hate-
that song a lot until they took it off Spotify.
I
Hey, that
hate
could be the next free
fucking
smoke.
song.
That can be the next free smoke. Let's do it.
Oh God! All right.
Let's do it now. Video game
Now?
lover? No, I'm joking.
I do not want to do another one. My energy is
I'm-
depleted.
I'm
I got so
surprised you
invested in
still-
that I'm not sick anymore.
I'm surprised you believed I would do a free smoke on fucking video game lover. I would actually, but video games. No, I've been playing a lot of Overwatch and Dead by Daylight, right? And the weird thing about those two games, I'm finding a lot of like Nazi hitters on there. It's so
Oh.
weird. Yeah, like there's a lot of. I know this. I saw this a lot in Minecraft, but you know how like the N-word is obviously censored, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you get some real creative people, you know, making like this, like but they put like a slash in the middle so it looks like an N, and they just try to find like these loopholes to say slurs to go through in chat. There's a lot of those. There's also a lot of good people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I've been cheated of
Yeah.
like the video game experience because I've never had anyone interesting ever in the in the fucking space of like online video games.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like more often
Like
than not,
adding
they just,
strangers? You mean like
Yeah.
adding strangers?
yeah, adding strangers. Like more often than not, they
Yeah.
just don't talk to me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, honestly, I'm fine. If I'm gonna play a game, I'm either gonna play it with people I know, or I'm gonna play it like solo.
It's,
The most
it's-
interesting
it's
one I
fun
can
to
think
talk to
of.
people though sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but the most interesting one I can think of. Sorry if I'm hogging
No,
time.
you're good. You're good.
but,
Go for it.
The most interesting one I can think of was when I was with you guys in a group and we were doing those like Fortnite like box things.
Yeah.
We were with another friend who's not a podcaster. And this like Mexican dude named what was his name? It was something
Like
really like
Jose or something.
yeah, it was like Jose something
Jose
or
Beaner
other.
or some shit like that. Yeah.
Can we keep that in?
Yeah, basically that.
We're Mexican.
Okay.
we can say it.
We can say that. All right. There's just some name like Jose Juarez or something,
Like
and then like
Jose Juarez.
yeah, and then our friend killed him, and randomly out
He
of
was
nowhere
trolling
he got into the mic and he said the N word, like he called him an N word. And he sounded
Off of
like the most
Fortnite.
Mexican fucking person I've ever. Like I could see this guy's face from his voice. and
Yeah.
and then
There's a
one of
lot
our
of-
friends
there's a
just
big
started
range
like one
of
of
people
our
you
friends
can
just
see.
started going like Jose like into the
Oh,
mic.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
like that was funny.
Yeah.
That's the most
Hilarious.
interesting story I got.
It's also just very dependent on the kind of games you play. Like I play like
Oh yeah, like
a majority of the chunk of the people I've met
Shooting
online
games.
were like on CS:GO, right? Back when before CS2. And so it varies. Like that's just home of the racists.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not only that,
CS:GO.
but it is such a like
It's the vibe around the game itself.
it's yeah.
Because Overwatch is
that
a
it's-
shooting game, and so is CS:GO. But CS:GO, like,
Yeah. But also it's like it's such a sucker punch of a game because you're basically thrusted into like the best way I ever heard it being described was like it's this easy round if you heard him. He's like he does game stuff. It's called Russian Badger.
yeah.
And he said he was made a video way back when about CS:GO, and he was basically saying like it's like a prison, like the people who've been there the longest, they basically run shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
they
I'm really sorry to the gift I sent.
Oh my god!
You're gonna have to fucking.
Okay,
God fucking damn it!
I
I'm
see
sorry.
some
I'm
of
sorry. I'm
Gift-
sorry.
a Muppet. Is that Crash and Bernstein? No,
No, it's not. It looks like it.
You're
No,
gonna
it's
have
like-
to
it's like
put that in.
Yeah, it's like some Muppet, and it just says it's Fence Saturday, and we're recording this on a Monday. All right. I tried keeping my composure.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. Keep going.
What were we talking about? It's so fucking
So
cool. Video games, yeah.
yeah. So God, I need to jog my memory. So we were talking about
Russian
Under the
Badger.
CS:GO.
Yeah, basically like it's like a prison, like in the sense that the people who've been there the longest just run the prison, you know, and you're basically thrusted in there, and you basically have to get bitched around and slapped around until you become part of the higher ups, you know.
The bitch
Yeah.
suckers.
Yeah, that's basically how it is. Like you basically have to get thrusted into this community of like "fuck you, asshole," all these horrible insults I can't even say,
Yeah.
you know, and you basically like you have to either just become the bitch and be like silent. Or in the rare times where, you know, like maybe you rage or you just feel a little confident that day because you're getting like an ace, you know, you become the one saying the slurs, you know?
Oh god.
And so it's just this constant awful cycle, you know? And so it was bad meeting because everyone you meet there is just such an awful person, you know?
Yeah.
And every now and then you meet a cool guy that you just run like a comp game with. Like I remember back in the day, I just ran comp games with this dude I met, and he was just like some weeb dude. Like he just had hella anime on his Steam profile. I unfriended him after a while because I think he just went ghost. But like, you know what I mean? Like every now and then you see
Last
cool
online.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yesterday I talked to this dude who was this was an Overwatch by like completely different fucking vibe. A really good opener question is music, because a lot of people listen to music when they play video games, which surprises me. I feel like that never works for me.
I watch
Yeah,
YouTube videos while playing video games.
Holy.
Well, it depends
shit.
on which video. Depends on which video game.
Gen Alpha.
Yeah. I got that brain rot.
Yeah, the brain rot. Yeah, no, music's. He was talking about Frank Ocean. He said he loved Frank Ocean. I was like, oh, that's cool. Music's
That's
a really
cool,
good.
yeah.
It's a really good opener. Got conversation. Thank you. Bless you. Thank you.
No, I mean it's also dependent. Like you seen those videos where it's like Valorant versus
Ugh.
what do you call it? Like CS two.
CS2.
You know?
Oh yeah. And it's like, and then CS goes like, and we're in like every.
Like you're live. Oh, person.
Oh
You see that
yeah.
one?
Wasn't that TF2? No, that was CS2.
I think it was TF2. Yeah.
Same.
I think it was comparing TF2 and Overwatch. That one.
Yeah.
The last time I made a friend through an online game is, I'm not joking, all the way back in 7th grade on Bad Eggs.
Whew. Ooh,
I-
fire.
I was playing with this one guy and we just used the chat feature and he helped me get the
The
he
ghost
helped me
egg?
get the secret skin. Yeah.
The secret
The
skin.
egg-
Yeah,
egg and white
yeah.
That was cool. Yeah, that was it.
Different
That's it.
times.
Yeah.
Bad Eggs. Classic game. That was
Well,
another rap piece. It's
Should we call it an episode?
I think we can call it a day.
Can I talk about the last
Oh wait,
topic?
yeah.
Unless. Oh.
Yeah.
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 So-
the hate comments.
A little bit ago, I uploaded this video called Moon, YouTube's most soulless creator, which took me
Go watch it if
fucking
you haven't.
yeah, go watch it if you haven't. I'm super proud of it. It took
really
me
good.
4 months to make that video, and it popped off. It did really well. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. And now, since it popped off, obviously you're gonna get a lot more nasty comments. And so I wanted to go through some of them today, because I think a lot of them are really funny.
Yeah.
So here's the first guy. Who wants to read this one?
Ooh, me.
Before you start.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck Florian Himsel. All
Hey,
right,
hey,
let's go.
wait. Save that for the end.
Oh.
All right, so go ahead.
All right, I'm clearing my throat. Scott the laws? You mean obvious soulless industry plant? What did you?
Okay,
Yeah,
so
super obvious
So
industry plant.
So this guy got mad that I praised Scott the Waz in this video as an example of a YouTuber who isn't soulless, and then he called him an industry plant, and then everyone in the comments is like, "Are you being serious? Are you a fucking idiot?"
Yeah.
So then, I commented, define industry plant for me, boss. To which he replied, actually, not that long ago, he replied, this. You wanna read that?
Lol, are you so hurt by this comment that you even replied? He is definitely managed by a company, similar to how a guy who's not a video game nerd is operated now. Where did video game nerd no. What the hell are you talking about?
He didn't answer my question. He didn't answer my fucking question.
Like he's
Also, he
deflecting
said-
your question.
Also, he said operated now. Like I'm pretty sure he wasn't operated by a company before. Like that's
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Like
Yeah, you know,
Now.
like his come up.
like being operated now, like by like a management organization. That's not an industry plant. That's just how it works in the world of
Yeah.
entertainment.
No,
You know.
yeah, that's so fucking stupid.
Yeah, like,
Alright.
you work your way
Yeah.
solo or like with very few people, you know, and then eventually some company, like a record label, if it's music, or like like a media company, right, comes along and it's like, hey, we can help you manage these and give you like a budget for your videos to make these crazy. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that's how it works. That's not an industry plant. That's just called getting successful.
yeah, stupid. Okay, so this guy said, 25 minutes, and the only argument is his videos are soulless. So
that's like
so
the point.
who wants to take a guess at what this video's title? All right.
The soulless moon.
The soulless moon, yeah. The moon solstice. Yeah. You want to read this, guys?
Yeah, I wanted to. Yeah. Not heckin' phobias. Downvoted. Pointless clickbait video.
Dude, he downvoted my video. How am I supposed to live with that?
Downvoted. Damn.
No, that shit's so funny. Anthony's muted right now. Alright, so making feature-length videos about other creators is soulless. What would you say about that?
I mean, that's like every commentary channel is soulless. Then
Every
Like, cool.
that you
Moon is soulless. He does videos. Doesn't he do videos about like other creators too?
I don't understand what this guy was going for, but sure, why not? You want to read this guy?
Yeah. You're a H bomber guy ball washer. This video makes sense now.
Yeah.
By Target Renegade.
Yeah. So then this one says, A commonly applied tactic employed by fascists and people who want to control is called something. Is to call something two things at once, like weak yet strong, worthless yet dangerous, or soulless yet impassioned. I never called Moon impassioned. I would never call Moon impassioned. He is worthless. The only worth you get out of him is being dangerous. But sure, whatever. I'm a fascist.
Yeah.
Wait, so you're a
people-
fascist?
Yes.
No.
According to this guy, that is exactly what fascism is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's one of those things. I hate the people who make it about politics. Sorry, just real quick.
yeah.
Because the people
Go ahead,
the video
give
is
your
not
2 cents.
about that, but people somehow twist it and contort it
Yeah.
and make it about politics when that was never like
A lot
That's
of
not
people
the point of
call
the
me a
video.
bread tuber.
bread tube.
Yeah, but okay, so this is where I do want to get serious because I feel like if anyone's gonna be watching these, it'll be smaller creators who are in a similar position as me as of right now. Sorry, voice crack there. I did get a comment earlier on in the week, and this is what I'm gonna read out, and I'm gonna read out the whole thing. So. A man by the name of Himsel Games commented, wow, this video is trash. I hate Moon more than most things, but I've watched 13 minutes and you've not made a single interesting point yet. And I feel like you aren't even playing clips from the Moon to tell us the unhinged stuff he says. But no, instead you point out how his thumbnails and titles are dishonest and his editing is mundane. Wow, really? That's a massive nothing burger. Well, hope you get your shit together so you can be a good YouTuber one day. So then I commented, well, someone clearly lacks patience because... I'm not gonna lie, this comment did hurt a lot more than other ones did. And then somebody else commented, "You clearly lack talent, lol. Stop coping and take the criticism. He's right." So, I read this and it genuinely did fucking suck because there's a lot of factors at play. One, it's a paragraph long, which to me is intimidating. To most people, I would say is an intimidating thing to see because he has a lot to say, which means it must be true or it must be something that has backing behind it.
Yeah. Like when it's short, when it's like less than like 2 sentences, it's a hate comment. It's like he's just saying nothing,
But
just insults,
But here it's a paragraph. And then on top of that, it has 4 likes, which is nothing. Is nothing in the grand scheme of things, but to you it feels like a lot because that signifies to you that people are beginning to like they agree with this guy. What does that say about me? And then somebody tags on and calls you soulless, and that hurt a lot. And I can imagine that a lot of small creators that are in that boat getting a comment like this once their videos do eventually start to gain traction, and it sucks. Like I'm talking to them directly here. It's never gonna not suck, and you're never gonna read one of those and feel good. Like I know the general consensus on YouTube is take it on the chin. Like take the hate and shit on the chin because that's just it comes with the territory, and I believe that for a long time too, but it's a lot harder when you're in the hot seat. Like, I definitely ate my words on that, the more popular I got as a creator. But, here's something fun. I calmed down. I calmed down after, talking to, my people. I talked to iSaH and Anthony, and I began to feel a lot better. I talked to people like Animedia, people like my friend Muncher. They messaged me. And they like gave me some support on that, and I really appreciate that. And then I began to look more into this comment. So, wow, this video is trash. Immediately, dismissive, a dismissive attitude. Then next sentence, I hate Moon more than most things. So he's backing himself. He's covering his bases. So like, I can't be roped in with the people who like Moon. Yeah. And then here's one. I've watched 13 minutes and feel like you have not made a single interesting point yet. My video
For a video
is
that's like an
1
hour
hour
and
and 17 minutes long. My video is an hour and
Almost,
17 minutes long. He hasn't even made
Almost
it through
an
a
hour
quarter.
30.
He hasn't even made it through a quarter of the video, and he's already beginning to judge and critique this.
Yeah.
Then
keep going.
he starts, and then here he criticizes, I feel like you aren't even playing clips from Moon and telling us the unhinged stuff he says. This is stuff that's further into the video. This is stuff I do talk about. And instead, he chooses to criticize the fact that I'm criticizing his thumbnails and titles and his editing. Because he doesn't want he doesn't want that. What he wants is for somebody to shit on Moon because, well, you know, that's what he wants. He doesn't
Yeah.
respect my video and my choices. His criticisms are not, this isn't done well. This isn't a well put together and constructed argument. His argument here is that I wanted this, you didn't give it to me, and therefore this sucks.
Yeah. Literally, that's all it boils down to. It's so stupid.
So why am I gonna get upset at that? That's stupid. And then this guy who called me talent, who said I lack talent, I clicked on the thing because YouTube lets you see like what other comments these people have left. And he left this comment where he said, Numale versus Slot Farm, a modern day David and Goliath. So I said Numale. This is not me mispronouncing it. So I said Numale because I thought he meant something along the lines of numeral or whatever. Like it was some sort of critique I hadn't heard yet, because I thought he was calling me like a number hungry type of person, which crushed me. But then I looked back at it, and then I looked at it and I said that doesn't mean anything about numbers. It says new mail, and I put it into Google. New mail means fucking soy boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I gonna let the guy who called me soy boy say that I'm talentless? Like, yeah, that's stupid. And then you'll notice the 4 likes. This is something that I did. I looked through and I scrolled past some of the other hate comments. Most of them, they only have about four likes. 4 likes or under. It's very fluctual, because a lot of the people are people who are going through and just liking whoever even remotely agrees with them, because they don't like you, or they don't like the things you say. And I know this does sound like cope, and to a certain extent I suppose it is, but to the small creators, I do just want to say, like, really don't focus on that shit. It is gonna hurt, and there's gonna be a part of you that can't ignore the hate, but don't focus on it. And because more often than not, when you go and you look at the comments that are giving you praise, the comments that, you know, are making jokes about the things within the video, they will oftentimes display understanding of your video. They will display, even if it's something as simple as I think the comment I have pinned right now is something like what if there was a YouTuber called Sun, lol, and he was the opposite of Moon, and that displays an understanding. And even then, people are in the comments and they're like, oh, then he has to do this, and this to not be like Moon, because they get it. There are people who get it, and these hate comments, a lot of them, they don't get it, or they don't want to get it. And yeah, that's basically it. Just focus on the love, because the people who are gonna give you constructive criticism and genuinely want to help you, the fucking Himsel Games guy, he said, hope you get your shit together so you could be a good YouTuber one day. He doesn't actually want me to get better. He doesn't care. There are people who are giving you actual, genuine, real, useful advice within the comment section, that and they don't sound like this. You'll know.
Yeah.
So don't focus on it. That's kind of it. That's all I wanted to say. Sorry.
Yeah, I want to just add something real quick to that too. You know, because I was talking about this with Exbee when we were kind of talking about these hate comments, and not only that, but a lot of these comments of people who try to act like they've been around, you know, like they have some sort of knowledge to share, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, but your video is this," because there's a lot of comments underneath this video that are just not really talking about the video itself, but are like, "Oh, this video sucks," you know?
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, "Oh yeah," and they'll be like, "Oh, I don't really like Moon, but this video just sucks," and it's like, "What are you talking about?" And so, what I was telling Exbee was how some of these guys will be like Himzel over here. Fuck this guy, by the way. I'm never gonna play Binding of Isaac. He's probably like 35 years old. No, because dude's like 35, and if you look in his bio, he says, "Oh, I coded the first Binding of Isaac, but not Rebirth." He's living off of how old is Binding of Isaac? 2008 or something like that.
Yeah.
Dude has to be in his 30s already.
Bro.
He is living off of past glory.
Yeah, bro hit his
Sorry.
peak.
Yeah, and so anyway, what I forget who it was. I was watching it was like a Hot Ones interview, funnily enough, and I think it was an actor. I wish I remember, but they were saying what they were saying was that, and it applies to all creative forms, not just acting, right? But any form of creativity where you get criticism, you have to learn how to filter out that criticism. And what I was telling Exbee was that a lot of times there are going to be people who are like, "Oh, I think it could have been this, this, and that," you know? But what you have to learn to do is just sort of, you know, mentally walk away from some of the criticism, because some of the people's criticisms just suck. Straight up, you know? They'll be like, "Oh, if I was you, I would be doing this," and they're sort of trying to skew you into the idea that they want when that's not the idea you're trying to portray. You know? So when people try to stray you away into something that's not yourself when it comes to criticism, just mentally check out, you know? That's my philosophy on it, because it's just the truth, you know? Because not only will that, you're gonna maybe people will twist this and be like, "Oh, that just sounds super like what's the word? Like you're not into criticism." But no, if anything, that's beneficial, because that helps you to filter out the good criticism from the bad criticism.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So yeah,
So that's just my.
I just want to talk about that because I thought it was very important, very interesting conversation. And I don't know. I'm glad that I could say that. Even if it doesn't help anybody, it's just nice to know that type of shit's out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, we winning, you know. I mean, I say we, but you know, King Exbee out here is winning. Like for every, I don't know. I want to just pull some bullshit ratio out my ass. I say for every 5 hate comments, there's like 20 like positive comments.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for every like 5 of those hate comments, one of them is actually constructed, quote unquote, well, while the other are just like stupid. You know, like
Yeah.
you suck, bro. You know. So it's
The
like, fuck
only
those
point
guys.
you've made 25 minutes into this is that the videos are sold.
Yeah.
Dude, real.
God,
Let's
I
be
love YouTube
soulless
comments.
together. Yeah.
You
I
mean
like trolling the
obvious.
comments. Okay, I can't lie. I've been trolling the comments. I don't know if you see them. You see my replies.
I see that.
No, I sometimes I get into it. It's probably not worth it to get into it with some of them, but it doesn't hurt. You know.
No, but it'll be like, "Oh, it's a Tuesday night. I ain't got nothing to do." You
Yeah.
know? So I'm just like,
Just
I
go
just start
troll.
trolling people
Yeah,
in
let's
the
go
comments.
trolling around. Yeah. Well,
All right.
I think that was very deep. That was a hashtag
Go
deep.
with
Deep
Yeah.
with the deep.
deep,
Yeah,
real deep thoughts.
Real deep thoughts. Yeah. They are real.
It's got
to
a real
me.
deep meaning.
Well,
Um,
you ready to
it's a
outro
good
us?
episode, I think.
Yeah, that was great.
Wait,
That had fun.
All right.
You,
Wait,
this is-
you guys are talking like this is the end. How do we
And-
earn the respect of the
and
meme
he ruined
community?
it. He fucking ruined it. Oh
We
my
may
fucking
never
God.
be able to answer this.
He
guys.
ruined it. He ruined
We have to
it.
commentate over
You ruined
memes,
it.
maybe.
He ruined it.
How
Yeah.
do we do this?
It's Fent Saturday.
Yeah, I'm not gonna talk to her. I'm not gonna. If you don't like Hawk Tua, I'm gonna block you
I'm gonna
up.
block you a Tua. Oh shit!
I'd rather watch the Five Nights movie 28 times.
Cause it's good.
All right.
That's been the episode. Isaiah outro.
Yeah. All right.
Please.
It's been a really, really crazy episode. I've been kind of out of it because some of these topics I was just kind of like, what the hell's going on? But anyway, we're here at the end, and so I'm going to bid you guys adieu. It has been me, Isaiah and the Ancestors. I actually have a song coming out real soon, so stay tuned for that. Yeah, the writer's block is over.
Let's
We ain't
fucking
going
get
back.
it.
All right, and now I bring it back to King Exbee.
What's up? You can follow me on youtube.com/KingXB. I make videos. You can follow me on twitter.com/KingXB. I make... Fuck, I'm sick. I make tweets sometimes.
You post bangers.
You can follow me on Exbee's Dumpster. That's my second channel. I'm gonna have a join button real soon where you can watch behind the
Fire.
scenes videos and join a Discord that'll happen. I promise. All right, pass it off to Parmesan.
Jello. I'm kind of just here. That's it. I don't have anything to promote. Love life. Go outside. Grass. Parks. People. Have a good night.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
Adios.
Subscribe.
Adieu.
Thank you for watching DisasterCast.